Boss, new season, blank canvas. For the benefit of our viewers and for Hibs fans everywhere, what exactly have you been up to since the final whistle blew?
Obviously it's been fairly hectic since the end of the season. A lot of players have left the club and we've been busy trying to get in some new players obviously to the club, and these things take time, and all the supporters are wanting names and quickly, but it takes a little bit of time to get things done, but we're working away very, very hard to make sure we get the right type of player into the club. That's important as well. You know, we're not just on the go out and sign players for the sake of signing. We want to get the right type of character into the club and, you know, make sure we get a change to what's been going on.
With the departures that have been confirmed already, the likes of Ian Murray and Graham Stack spring to mind, are you looking to recruit some more senior players? Are you looking to kind of restructure the senior panel of players here at the club?
Yeah, we need some senior players, and what we're left with at the moment is a lot of probably young players, and we need to obviously, I think some of the older players that came in last year and helped us in that regard, give us a bit of experience around the place, can help bring young players on. I think James coming in is a prime example of that for Paul. He brought him on immensely halfway through the season, so that's the type of players we're looking for: right characters, right people that want to come in and play and have a desire to do well here.
Obviously the message coming from the fan base right now is obviously who are we going to be bringing in. You mentioned there that you've been working tirelessly behind the scenes throughout the summer trying to identify the right talent. How close are we right now at this stage?
Yeah, it's difficult because I know obviously how disappointed the supporters were after the final, and I know they're anxious for things to happen and quickly. We are trying to do that. We're working really hard to do that. I can give them that guarantee that we've been at it non-stop, even though we've had a little bit of a break, even wide on the break, making sure we keep ticking over. And it just takes time. These things, they don't just happen overnight. It takes a little bit of work, and you know, we're looking, like I said, we're looking to bring in players that are going to improve the football club. And I think sometimes you can sign people just for the sake of maybe getting players in, but we want the right type of player, but we also want the right type of character coming into the place.
Obviously, without meaning to talk about individuals who are contracted to other clubs, but everyone has been talking about the impact that James McPake made here at Hibs last season. He captained the team to a cup final. He's subsequently gone on to make his international debut. What was your reaction to the news that he's now a Northern Ireland internationalist?
I was delighted for him. You know, I spoke to him before he went and asked a little bit of advice on it, but I was delighted for him. He's the type of character that you want to see do well in the game. You know, he came up here and he was fantastic for me and for the club in the short period of time he was here. We'd love to have him back. But I think, you know, what he brought to the place is what we're looking for, and that's why it takes a little bit longer at times to make sure you get them right types of character into the place, and it takes a little bit more work as well to get them. So, but while he was here, he was fabulous for us, both on and off the pitch, and I think that's important as well. And, you know, I know supporters are looking at players and what they do on a Saturday, which is the be all and end all, but it also has to be what they do during the week and how they conduct themselves in relation to the dressing room, what's going on in the training centre. So that's the type of player we're looking for. James fits that bill perfectly, like he did, you know, for his last season, and hopefully we can recruit a few more like him.
As we mentioned before, it's a fresh start for the team and a fresh start for yourself. Although you've now been here for just over half the season, how would you benefit? How would you kind of outline your vision for the club? What are you hoping to achieve this season, Pat? You've now been given a whole transfer window. You didn't have that luxury to begin with. Last January, perhaps it was a case of short-term measures to get that fix of keeping us in the SPL. What's happening now?
Yeah, last season was difficult because you had that window in January where we had to take in a fair few loan players, and they came in and did the job that we wanted to do, was to make sure we stayed up, got to the cup final. But we want to try to build a squad and build a club on a long-term future now. And we said at the time that we had a short-term and a long-term plan. And the short term was to make sure we stayed up. We've done that. Now it's to try to build a club and build it back up to where it should be. And identifying the right type of player and character is massively important. That we're not in a position that we can get that wrong again. The supporters have suffered too much, and we need to change, and we need to give them something to believe in. And we need to change the club. That's basically it. We need to change the mentality of the football club, how we do things, what we do, you know, and get that across to the players and new players coming in and the players that are here as well.
How can we change the culture, and how would you outline the culture as being here? What is the Hibs way in your viewpoint?
Well, I think, you know, Hibs is, for years has been known as a fabulous football club. You know, play the game in the right way and produce players. We want to continue to do that, but we want to put a little bit of steel into the place, a little bit of resolve, a little bit of nastiness, a little bit of development about us, that we're not easily, you know, turned over and not easily bullied. That has to change. And that's what I'm saying, that type of character that we need in the dressing room, as well as people who can play, but we have to be able to mix it up as well. We have to have a little bit more steel about us. And that's what we're working on at the moment, is to try to change that. Not just in the football team, but in the actual structure of the club. And we've made some changes to the training ground, and maybe make 1 or 2 at Easter Road as well. So there's a lot of work going on. No supporters don't see that. They're on the outside looking in a little bit at the moment because there's been no activity. But like I said, there's a lot of hard work going on at the moment.
Obviously, without meaning to dwell on the past, what happened at Hamden is consigned to the dustbin history, really. But just focusing on how we can reconnect with the supporters who obviously were hurt by what happened. How can we get them back through the turnstiles, man?
Okay, there's no word to me after Hamden, I have to be honest. I've never felt as low in football in my life, to be honest. Leaving Hamden that day was a disaster, because I knew I let a lot of people down, and that's not nice to have that on your conscience, and I understand that. I know you understand the frustration and disappointing the supporters, 100%. I understand it. But we need them. I need them to stick with us. We need them to stick with us, and you know, if they stick with us, we are trying to do things in the right way. I firmly believe most of them understand that and agree that there has been changes, and you know, we looked a little bit better on the pitch up to the cup final, to be honest. But they need to just stay with the club. The club is, you know, like I said, it's a fantastic football club. We need to move it forward, but we need everybody in that. It's not just about me changing players, but it's about everybody pulling in one direction. And you know, without them, it's difficult to do from a financial point of view, from a backing point of view. That's very, very difficult to do what we want to do if we don't have them with us, and we need them behind us more than ever now. I know they've been hurting and they've had a few hard seasons, but all I'll say to them is, I'm here a short time. We're trying to make changes to it, and we'll do whatever it takes to make them changes to it. But we really need them to back us and stay behind us at the moment.